In this video, I'm going to talk through how I took two winning Euro trades today based on a deeper understanding of structure and how it moves, but simplified into one simple rule. So to get straight into it, you can see from the very start, I've marked out loosely an uptrend of structure here. We've got higher highs pushing up and higher lows. Now, a large amount of courses and sort of free content you'll see online and some people's trading strategies will show you that we will look to take a buy on the retest of this line and we will enter on this line. Now, don't get me wrong, this does happen often and these are very simple setups. But if this is all you're focusing on, you are limiting yourself by a lack of structural understanding because price does not always move perfectly in the markets, right? We're not always going to have really clear retests that are this simple. So how do we then capitalize on the markets when we don't have these situations? And to do that, we need to consider how structure actually moves and what would still be valid structure. Because in this situation, we're taking a buy based on the fact that price is stepping up, right? We've got higher highs, higher lows. Now, if price pulls back down here, is it still valid for a buy? Yes, because we still have a higher low. We've not got a lower low formed. Down here, exact same thing. If price pushes up, it's still a higher low or it's still not a lower low formed. So price can actually pull all the way down to this previous low that pushed price up and still be valid for buys, because if we look at this structure, it's still bullish, isn't it? We're still stepping up with high highs, high lows. We've not got any bearish structure in there in terms of breaks down. So this is something key that people need to understand, that price does not always form perfectly as people like to make out. That is not how structure always looks. It does not always move like that. Sometimes we'll have higher ones like this. Sometimes we'll have deeper ones down here, which are trades that we take in the limitless community a lot, and I take, and you'll see them on there through our use of deep test zones, which again is a story for another day. But one thing you need to remember is price can retrace all the way down to this low. We call this the start of the structural push. It's the same the other way. This is the push or the start of the push that broke this structural high. So price can retrace all the way down here and still be valid for a trade. So based on that understanding and using this level, the two trades I took today, or two of the trades I took today on Euro JPY and Euro USD, I am going to rewind, but you can see that I've taken these based on evidence on my Instagram feed, as always, are the same thing. Price is stepping up here. We've got multiple breaks to the upside with pushes up, higher lows forming and pushes up again. And then this is that start of structural push. Multiply this zone I've drawn, where price pushes up, fails to then break any higher again, and comes right the way back down to that start of structural push. We then get our entry on the 5 minute. Again, I don't really need to go into that now. We're going into that a lot in other videos already on here. We see really clear exhaustion here and push up. Now, some people, not knowing this, would have had their level, for example, here with structure breaking up, or similar to where I'd already drawn it. Seeing that price has not retested that and it's not on that level, and would ignore it. But that is down to a lack of understanding of how structure moves and how structure can still be valid, because it's still bullish structure overall here. We've got this big uptrend. We've had this style of structural push. Price never pushed higher from this high after the initial push and came back all the way down to that start of structural push, leading to that move. This is a slightly messy one in terms of the pullback, but for a very clean one, we can look at Euro USD, where again, rewinding, but you can see the evidence on my feed. Price is clearly stepping up here. Look at all these high highs and high lows. Now, when price comes back down to retest this level originally, we don't get an entry. As I said, I enter on the 5 minute, there's no entry. Price pushes down, and as you can see on the 15, pushes through it. But price never breaks structure down, and that's key as well, because these wicks are never broken by a closed candle. Price never breaks structure to the downside. So because of that, we are still valid for bullish structure. In the same way I marked out before, we still have valid bullish structure if this happens. We do not need to be trading exactly on the line, and that is why the rules of my strategy allow for flexibility to structure, because I'm not trying to tell structure where it has to go. I'm going to listen to where it shows me it's going, and that is why we trade this way. So again, entry was on the 5 minute. I'm not going to go into those specifically today because I wanted to talk about this special, well, I'll say special, this little understanding, which is an important nugget to know when you're trading structure. And that's how I got both of these trades today. Very simple, but when you understand the structure like this, you're going to find your possibilities are opened up massively because you're not fixed with that very rigid and, in my view, lack of understanding view of structure, where you say price must go like this, because it's just not how structure works all the time. It's not always picture perfect, but when you understand this and you can be flexible, as we've just talked through, you're going to see a lot more opportunities. So thanks for listening in this one. If you'd give it a subscribe or a like, it'd be very appreciated. I'll see you in the next video.